never slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no
place in the race just behind him, all the way from near enough the back row of the grid.
Very much a warning. All three abreast again on the brakes. And it's Marco Morelli.
Note that lap time coming up. Gonzalez pushes Veda wide again. Let's see what a ride this is from Benyat.
Absolutely superb and a great run from Hackett. Plan B takes the lead.
Brilliant. No Plan B up there once again. He's been a little bit quiet this year. Here we go then. 2 laps left of this absolute thriller in Spiel.
Danish as well. You know, Hackett, you know, he started the year with 5
here, hasn't he? Not what we expected from the Argentinian. Kicked off the year with Berg.
Now, Brian said after the race yesterday that he knew he had something over second places and then a win. He can do it. It's just a mental thing that has messed up the recent.
The 5th and a 4th place finish. He got his first podium in Le Mans race 2. He's not been...
Veda Pratama, he said, I can't tell you what it is, but I know something that he doesn't about this track. World races for the Malaysian. He's obviously expunged that from his brain now, and he is battling
on the podium since. This is what we want to see from Morelli.
Yeah, he had 2 wins last. This is the time to show what he can do, because he's with Veda Pratama back in 4th, in fact 5th on for the lead.
It's such a different dynamic, Peter, from being the predator and the prey. You know, they were chasing him.
Yeah, and we want to see him on the top step of the podium, and Brian desperately trying to keep his 6th place at the moment. It's Marco Morelli who has the advantage. Christian Daniel Jr.
all the time throughout the season, but now he's on the back foot again. Uriarte
KTM off the green stuff there as he chases Morelli away from the first corner.
And of course,
up into 3rd place behind Brian Uriarte, and Veda Pratama back in 4th place under.
He's the one with more things to lose per se, with a 4 points gap out the lead, and it's amazing. Morelli came to blows back in Sachsenring, didn't they? And look at the gap then with the chasers.
Great pressure from Benyat Fernandez and Gonzalez and Capuchin.
It's all very well having how that could just change a rider's mentality.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Uriarte is very...
They are on it. They are gonna catch them, I think, Peter. It was the hand of knowing something about this track that Veda doesn't, but Brian, Veda behind you. What have you got on Marco Morelli out front?
Strong mentally, and you see he actually had the better line than Veda through there.
0.6 of a second as they come across the first intermediate split there, so I think no Plan B. 95 looking for a ride in the World Championship next year.
He got the drive out of it. Veda caught him going into the corner, but Brian Uriarte...
That's it. The leading pack have been caught officially. Fastest rider on track is this final season in Rookies Cup. Will he sign off with another win before potentially heading...
Flicked it right and then left. Better to get the drive out.
On that penalty, that rider there, number 7 of Benyat Fernandez.
And of course that group of 5 punches a big hole
to the world stage.
As I say, he qualified on the front row in 3rd place on the spare bike.
As well for Monon Yane, due to exceeding track limits. He's down in 20th at the moment, fighting with Plonk.
All in the air, and that drags the other guys into the slipstream very effectively. So it's Brian, so he's obviously got this sorted out now. It's working really well for him, and he's making full use of it.
Also had a long lap penalty. Agostinelli is just ahead of them. He's done his long lap penalty.
Takes up the lead from Veda Pratama.
So heavy on the brakes, and it's really... Christian Daniel Jr. in 3rd position has a track limits warning. One more time on the green, and he too... penalty as well.
Oh, and Brian getting it a bit sideways on the brakes going in there, but he managed to...
Deep downhill into turn 4 there. You can see the rear wheel of Uriarte is just popping off the ground momentarily. Have a long lap penalty. He cannot afford to make that mistake again. The number 70 going for 2nd.
To hang on to it.
Who's that? Agostinelli just gone down, having just completed his long lap. As they now come into the fastest sweeping section as Guillaume Plonk, first ride up on the inside of Brian Uriarte. He finally makes a move at turn 7. Absolutely penalty. That's a big shame for the Vietnamese rider.
Yeah.
To have a long lap penalty for exceeding track limits. He's in 20th spot at the moment. That brilliant from the American, up in the 2nd spot. This is absolutely sensational.
Presumably ruined his concentration having to do the long lap penalty, and of course
moving down, likely to last.
Right, and as you were talking about, you know, and it's going to be about 5 abreast on the brakes here. It's Marco Morelli with the advantage. Veda's himself out. Anyway, back with the leaders then. Brian Uriarte still with the advantage over Pratama and Hakim Danish. Using up your tyres too much. These Pirellis are really superb tyres. They do drop off the performance.
On the inside, Brian's back to 5th, Peter.
Yeah, and are they going to keep off the green as they go on to... They got a very, very slight advantage over the 17 of Yaroslav Kapushin, which does fade away slightly, but it's very, very predictable. So the guys can feel what's happening. And the last lap through this long right-hander, they all have managed to stay away from it. It is...
Kurdistani rider, just what a tick up in form he's had since that pole.
And usually doesn't give them any nasty surprises. It's Brian Uriarte that leads, but up the inside now, Marco Morelli that leads from Veda Pratama, from Christian Daniel Jr. Brian Uriarte, the cut points leader, is
all in that front row start and podium back in Germany.
Oh, it's David Gonzalez there on the number 11 into second place.
I think I saw Chris
back in 4th place. Hakim Danish is still down in 13th place.
He's made a spot up. He's on the back. Really, really impressive. One of the youngest riders on the Rookies Cup grid, isn't he? Is Hakim Daniel pushing Marco Morelli rather wide there in towards the penultimate turn. And there we have. Look at that group. That's the best he's going to achieve there. So here we go, Peter. One of the main overtakes. Danish went very wide there. That could have been a long lap penalty for Danish. He was the weave-in riders trying to avoid the other riders catching too much of a slipstream. Morelli up the inside of Dan. Spots. Brian, you got something in hand on Veda apparently, but where is it? He's ahead of you. You got certainly right on the edge of the white. Did he actually go onto the green? That is the question. Daniel again just slots it there, goes a little bit wide onto the green then, so he might himself have a track limit. Got to make that move to extend that lead in the championship, but he's got so many other riders to contend with.
And he's still there in 3rd place, and Christian Daniel Jr.
It's warning, but they have officially been caught by the others. They've now got Car Pushing on their tail, Car Pushing moving up the inside, but this is absolutely cracking. 7 riders up for the win here.
Yeah, Marco Morelli's been to 5th again. I think somebody way off in the green there. Christian Daniel Jr., he'd lost a few places.
Potentially, certainly of Morelli, but also potentially Daniel as well. Not quite, as we see Morelli
down in 6th place in the cup chase. He's not in the battle. It's down to Veda and Brian Uriarte. Perhaps when that messy lap, a couple of turns.
He get pushed wide now by Benyat Fernandez moving up the inside. Danish side by side. Veda goes into the lead, Peter. What a move on the exit of turn 3.
He did. He was slower in, got a soup go, but he's back in the hunt now, up into 6th place ahead of Morelli and Gonzalez.
With Morelli in the background too.
So Uriarte